Hello, this is Ms. DB. This is the Graphing Using Technology assignment, and you're going to use either Geometer Sketchpad, which we usually just call Sketchpad, or GeoGebra. If you're using Sketchpad, you have to be logged into the Minnows student desktop, and in GeoGebra, you can access that on the web, and then you will want to make an account, or else you have to take screenshots. So in Sketchpad, you can save your file and attach, so that's really nice. You don't have to do screenshots at all in Sketchpad. In fact, I prefer you just to attach the file because then I can manipulate it and use it and check and move it around. So you're going to pick one of those. Now there might be another good grapher out there that I don't know about. If so, let me know and check with me and I'll see if it does everything we need it to do before you use it for the rest of this assignment. So otherwise, pick Sketchpad or GeoGebra. So once you do that, we're going to start with plotting these points and connecting them in order. So that means once you put the point 0,6 on your graph, then the next one would be 5,9, then you go back and connect these two with the line segment. So let's look at connecting just a couple points using Sketchpad. So the first point is 0,6 and then 5,9. There's two ways to put points on Sketchpad. There's the point tool. If you make a graph, you can use the point tool and make a point at 0,6. The problem with this method is if you move your graph around later, the point doesn't stay. See, now it's not at 0,6 anymore. The other way to make a point in Sketchpad is to go to Graph Plot Points and type in the coordinates of the points. If you do this method, then that point will stay at 0,6 no matter how you change your graph. So if you change the scale of your graph, the point 0,6 is still at 0,6. If you move it around so that you can look at something better, it's still at 0,6. So that's probably the better method in order to make this turn out correctly in case you move things around. And the next point was at 5,9, so I'm going to create the next point next, 5,9. Now you can put more than one point at a time on here. The danger of doing it when you have to connect them is that you might forget the order. So I'm just going to do two at a time. Now I'm going to grab the line segment tool, which is over here. If you hold the button down, you get segments, rays, or lines with arrows on them. I just want the segment tool. So I start at the first point and I'm going to, you just drag it over and then kind of let go of your mouse button and it drops it and there's your first segment. And you'll continue that for the next bunch of points. In GeoGebra, let's look at how we would make a couple points in GeoGebra. So in GeoGebra also, you could just grab the point tool, it's under this menu, and you could put points. I'll make this a little bigger. Or you can go back here and you can actually just enter in the coordinates of the points. Parentheses, this, I think the first point was 0,6. Well, I want it inside of there, of course. And there's a comma and you can click on the keyboard and you can graph this point and it graphed it for us already. And then I can input another point. And I think it was at 5 something. Do we remember? 5,9. I was going to say 5,6. And there's the next point. Now to connect these points, we can use this segment tool that is in GeoGebra. And there's different ways to do it. Here's the segment tool right here. So I can create a segment pretty much the same as I did in Sketchpad. It did label it, which I don't need on here, but we can, whoops. We can undo things, I'm sure. I don't want you to do that. Stop that. There's my undo button in this program. in Sketchpad there's an undo button, which is super nice. I should just be able to delete, you can select it on your, and then delete it with your keyboard. Okay, so I've got that, and then you would put your next points in. You can do that in here. Now, Sketchpad GeoGebra will give you a lot of stuff as you go. So you can see that it has, like this. You can ignore that, and you can just go to the next box and put your next point in, and so on. And you can select things or turn them off like this. I want my segment back on. And if you go to these three little dots here, you can delete stuff. Now I don't have my segment back. So let's look at if I wanted to make a segment another way here. I'm going to select those points, and then there should be a construct a segment from that. Select 2 points. Oh, I did it in the wrong order. I select it, then I click on the points, and then it will draw the line for you. Okay, so we've got how to make points in both of the programs and how to connect them. Then it says make a copy of the picture from number 2, then change your picture from number 2 in at least 2 different ways. So in Sketchpad, you can make a copy by going to File, Document Options, Add Page, Duplicate. Now when I go to page 2, it's the exact same thing as page 1. See that? So on page 2, when I make a change to this in some way, maybe I want to add another segment to it or something. And of course your picture is going to be a lot more interesting than this anyway, but I've made a change to page 2, but I didn't change page 1. So you can make a copy and change it that way. In GeoGebra, after you finish your picture, you can save it. I'm trying to move this over just a little bit. I'm logged in. So if you log in, then you can save it. Maybe I want to say number 1. And then you can change it, like the directions say to change it in some way. And now I can, that gave me a picture of number 1. And now if I want to save it again, okay, stop that now. Then it will, every time you do it, it'll share a new image. And you could copy that link. You can also export the image if you want to print this, or if you want to try to copy it, like a screenshot kind of thing. But you can see that it only gives you pieces of the graph. You can't move around on it or anything. You can't change it. It's just a picture of it. All right, so going back to the worksheet, make any discrete function, make any continuous function. That's in the reading from the coordinate system reading. Graph this, and then there's some other things to do on here. So in Sketchpad, I've already showed you how to graph. It's pretty easy. You go to graph, plot new function. If you need to graph like x squared plus 2x, let's say you needed to graph that, it will graph the function right on there. And if I need to graph another line and like see where they cross, then you just repeat this process. In Sketchpad, you don't type the y equals part, you just type the part after that. So here's another line being graphed on top of that quadratic, and then maybe I need to find the coordinates where those points cross or something. So you can, there's different things that you can do in Sketchpad to answer questions. I can measure the coordinates of that point if I needed to see where they cross, and it would be right there. The arrow tool is the selection tool, so if you need to move something or change your graph, you can do it that way. In GeoGebra, and I'm not as experienced with GeoGebra as I am in Sketchpad. It's a little bit new to me, but I'm going to clear everything out of here. Okay, I'm still in move. Okay. There's a trash can setting to delete stuff in GeoGebra. Click on it, hit that, and it's gone. Okay, so to graph a line, go back to this graphing calculator one and input your function here. So if you want to do y equals x squared, then you can use the keyboard. I'm using the keyboard right now to enter that. You can also click down here, and there's other options under these tools if you need them. Otherwise, like, here's how you can make an exponent. And then, I don't know, I can't remember what I had before, plus x. So you can use this, or you can type on your keyboard. And then if you need to make another function, you just go to the next line and type your function again. Y equals x plus 3. And you can zoom in by scrolling, or with these buttons here. You can click on the intersections and on the graphs in order to find different points. You can go back to this tool and put points where you want to. I want to try to put a point at the intersection. So you can do different things with it as well. There's like different colors and stuff in GeoGebra too. This thing, you can change colors if you need to. So, different options. You can try it out. Here's the measurements of point A. It's not a very nice, neat point, but that's okay. And then you can click back here, and it also puts the measurements of the point there. So if I move it, it will change the value of those points. See? All right, so going back to the worksheet, this is a lot of just exploration so that you can practice these two. What you'll probably do as you finish this is, oh, my points are missing for number 9. They didn't show up. I had points there. I must not have saved it right. But I'll add the points there, and then you'll plot them and see if they appear to be linear and draw a line through them. Then it says to use the tools in the grapher to find the equation of the line. That's something that we haven't gone through yet. Let's do that too. So if I have some points, I'm going to get a new graph here. In Sketchpad, if you have some points on a graph and you want to find the equation, let me put some points on my graph. Let's say I had a point here, and here, and here. And yes, I would say those do appear to be linear. And then I'm going to draw a line through those points. I'll use the line tool. Okay, to measure this and find the equation of the line, select it, pick equation, and there's the equation of that line. So that's how you would do it in Sketchpad. You make your points, make a line through the points, and then go to measure and select equation. In GeoGebra, in order to make a line, or to make this, let's delete some of this stuff. I'm going to delete you. Delete. All right, so I'm going to put some points. I'll use the point tool. Let's see here. This won't be the same line. I'm just kind of making this up. Okay, now I want to make a line through my point. Okay, there's my line through my point. Now go back to the calculator option, and the equation of the line will be there. and obviously they're giving me many, many decimal values. You can round to like the hundredths, 2 decimal places. So this would be y equals 0.52x plus 3.04. And that's how you find that equation. There's some other ways to find the equation of a line in both of the programs, but these will work for this assignment, and they'll work well. So again, you're practicing using two different, well, you're going to use either GeoGebra or Sketchpad. If you find that you don't love the one you're using, then you can stop and try the other one and maybe redo these questions in that. Again, the main advantage of Sketchpad is that you can save the file and attach it, because you'll have to attach your work for this. The main advantage of GeoGebra is you don't have to be logged into the student desktop to use it. You can just access it, on the internet. So pick which one you like better. If you don't know, pick one and try it out. Finish these questions. If you get stuck, please send me a quick email and I'll help you out. And that way you won't, spend a lot of time trying to figure out how to delete a point when I can let you know without too much struggle. All right, well, thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.